And a very good morning. It is 7 a.m. on Monday, March 31st, 2025. It is 47 degrees. Balmy. Welcome to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, taking your calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. It's going to be mostly cloudy today, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. In fact, we could have some serious weather, possibly severe thunderstorms, depends on where you are and the time. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Let's go straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta. First check of the Garden State forecast. Mike, we're talking maybe some real thunderstorms in some pockets.
Yes, could even have some damaging winds and hail by this evening, but during the day today, it'll be quiet. This is primarily this evening's forecast that we'll see that weather turn and could be quite severe as it rolls through New Jersey with a cold front. Right now, a few light showers around, generally cloudy across most of the state, but the southwestern corner showing up with some light rain right now at 7:01, so a little bit of light rain to get your day started. Right now, south of 195 and even toward the Atlantic City Expressway, you see those light showers coming down, showing up on green here on the radar, and they'll ultimately move to the east throughout this morning. So plan on a little bit of that wet weather as temperatures, like Ken said, 40s, the northern part of the state, 50s down the shore, but some 60s to start your day over in Medford, very mild there in Millville and even toward Camden. That's where the warm front lies. As we take it through the rest of the morning, those breezes coming in from the south and southeast, pulling in some more of that milder air today, keeping temperatures a solid 19 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday. Remember, we had that big cold front come through Saturday evening, making it feel so chilly throughout Saturday night and throughout most of yesterday. Well, now we're back up to 20 degrees above the temperature this time yesterday. So a few light showers came through last night in northern New Jersey. That's why I wake up this morning. The ground is wet, the car is wet, and there are some wet roadways. We'll eventually see some brightening of the skies, but not full-on sunshine for a good portion of the day, just because as that front pushes in, it'll bring back the threat of those storms by this evening. Any sun today that makes it to the ground, helping to warm us into the mid and upper 70s. Look at that temperature of 76 in Newark, 78 in Trenton. Could get quite mild today. Comes crashing down with that cold front and the storms as soon as 6 o'clock this evening. So you see right there toward Morristown by 6 o'clock, some storms popping up, and then the line of storms moves through by around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Again, some of the storms could bring those damaging gusty winds as well as small hail, maybe even a small chance of a weak tornado as it pushes on by, which is typical this time of year, especially in late spring or mid-spring, I should say. And then going into Tuesday morning for tomorrow, it turns much colder. Wind switches direction, and while it's sunny all day tomorrow, noticeably cooler, only in the mid-50s as our highs. Beyond that, into the rest of the week, Thursday is looking generally cloudy. I think going into Friday, we'll see another round of cloud cover, and then it's just kind of cloudy, wet, and gray and gloomy beyond that into the upcoming weekend. So setting up a wet pattern that takes us into the weekend. Temperatures will be surprisingly mild, especially for the end of the week as we're back in the 70s. But we don't get that full day of sunshine to enjoy because there's a little bit of wet weather around as well through this weekend with another front. We'll tell you all about it and time it out coming up, Ken, with another check of your forecast and explain the severe weather threat this evening as well with our next weather update.
Mike, we're supposed to say tornado. We've never had a tornado here. Never. What are you talking about? Well, maybe
30
that's not New Jersey.
tornadoes in just
Yeah.
1 year. I think it was 2 years ago. We
Yep.
had 30 in New Jersey. So yeah,
People have
we
very
get them.
short
And
memories. Right? They
indeed.
have very short memories. They think it
Yeah.
never happened. Meanwhile, like it happened 6 months ago or it happened a year ago.
Well, it
So
doesn't happen to
pay
them,
attention.
right? It doesn't happen to them.
Right.
It'll happen in the Garden State, maybe in the woods, in a remote area, but if it's not on their street, it never happened.
Absolutely. I used to live in North Caldwell, and literally on the property that I lived on, I saw this straight line of all these trees toppled like this. And I said to the previous homeowners, they came by to see how I was doing. I said, "What the hell is that, by the way?" And it went on for like a quarter of a mile. They said, "Oh, that
Yeah.
was from Superstorm Sandy," and it was confirmed that that was a small EF1, EF0, an EF0 that went
Yep.
straight up my driveway, down through the backyard where we had woods, and literally the trees were all in this. It was crazy because I wasn't sure if it was a straight line wind or whatever, but they said no, it was an EF0. So it
Yep.
happens. It's not like Kansas, but it does happen here. All right, Mike, thank you so much. We appreciate you as always, sir. Let's take a look at the one traffic cam that always stands by for us. This is on the GW, or the approach to the GW bridge. Oh, no, this isn't the approach. Oh, is it? Is that for real, Pam? Is it really? What did we do to deserve this? All right, we've said this before. Usually on Mondays and Fridays, traffic into New York is extraordinarily light because people tend to take long weekends, and I guess this is spring break time. Normally, that shot right there with the oncoming traffic on your left, usually the left is lower level GW Bridge approach, the middle right is upper level. Wow, if you ever wanted to get into Manhattan in 10 minutes, there you go. Here's your opportunity. That's almost refreshing to see. Wow. Okay, nice. Thank you, Pam. Let's make a mental note of that because in 2.5 months we've never seen that where traffic just flows in. We do have a crash to talk about though. This is on Route 42 southbound north of exit 10A, which is Black Horse Pike in Gloucester Township. The right shoulder's closed, and there are about 10-minute delays through there as people just brake check, so please use caution. And let's bring up our other favorite camera. Unfortunately, this is the I-80 cam, and we could do the story along with it. We want to tell all the Garden State drivers, take a deep breath. I-80 will remain closed in both directions for weeks. It's going to stay closed for up to 5 more weeks in the westbound direction, up to 7 more weeks in the eastbound direction, and that is at exit 34, Route 15 in Wharton. Why? Well, repair designs must be finalized and approved in the next week. In other words, they're trying to fix it right this time. They don't want a half-assed, can we say that, job because of whoever did this originally. There's the live shot there. The other was a still frame. They want to make sure that when this thing reopens, you can count on it. So they are closing this westbound for 5 more weeks, eastbound for 7 more weeks. Once they finalize the plans next week, then they can do the serious work. They're going to bring in lots of crews, and they're saying that westbound should open to traffic in early May. Some of the lanes, the remaining westbound lanes, a week or 2 later, and then on the eastbound side, work on 2 lanes could be finished and reopened toward the end of May, beginning of June. Remember, sinkholes first opened up along I-80 December because of a series of 90 underground voids where there used to be a series of iron mines. Don't blame the current people. This is from way back. Somebody said, "Problem, you could put a highway through there. There's going to be a problem." Somebody really needs to be accounting for whoever signed off on putting a highway above 90 iron mines. The time now 7:07. Alina Habba was sworn in on Friday as the new U.S. Attorney for the state of New Jersey, officially taking over from John Giordano, who is departing the role after a brief tenure to serve the White House by going as U.S. Ambassador to the country of Namibia. Now, during the ceremony, President Trump praised Habba as a warrior for the rule of law, while Habba pledged to clean up New Jersey in her new role. The swearing in comes 5 days after Trump announced on social media that she would be taking over that role. Habba is a native of Summit, lives in Bernardsville now. Congratulations to the U.S. Attorney for the state of New Jersey, Alina Habba. 7:08 now. A pilot is dead after the small plane he was piloting crashed yesterday morning in Somerset County. The Cirrus aircraft crashed about 10:35 in Franklin Township near South Middlebush and Hilltop Lanes. The plane had taken off several hours earlier from Princeton Airport. It was headed to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. The cause under investigation. Almost 400 contestants showed up over the weekend at American Dream to compete in rock, paper, scissors, as we first told you about exactly 1 week ago on this very program. Most of the contestants were Garden Staters, with several from as far away as Ohio and North Carolina. The evenly split male and female crowd ranged in age from 18 to 78. In the end, Nashville native Kevin Wong, a student at the University of Pennsylvania, won the $10,000 grand prize doing rock, paper, scissors after a thrilling 4-3 final. Congratulations. 7:09, a TikTok user posted a disturbing video calling on people to shoot at ICE agents on site. The user claimed that agents had been showing up in masks, unmarked vehicles, and without their badges, claiming that the agents could be anybody. He said, being that they're showing up incognito, you have a right to shoot them. No, you do not. He suggested they could be shot because you could tell the authorities they might have been gangbangers, so you had a right to do so. No, you don't. Do not do what he says. Director of Homeland Security Kristi Noem says that her agency is now investigating. Police in Newark say a woman was hospitalized in critical condition after she was stabbed Saturday night. Officers responded to a call at a home on Vailsburg Terrace. There they found the injured woman. The woman was rushed to a hospital. A man was arrested at the scene. Police say the man was charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault, and weapons-related offenses. No other information released. Published reports say a Hudson County police chief, get this, is accused of assaulting and harassing his officers. Complaints against him include the chief hooping on floors, like dropping trow in front of his staff, exposing himself to his staff, attempting to drug coworkers, and one staffer says this chief attempted to or stuck a hypodermic needle into the officer's genitals. North Bergen Police Chief Robert Farley, in his position just over a year, is also accused of retaliating against an officer who tried to report him to the state attorney general. 5 officers in the town say they plan on suing over the alleged behavior. Now, a township spokesperson calls the claims false and outrageous. 7-Eleven now, if you see Kearney High School senior Sebastian Andaluz on the street, go up and congratulate him. The 18-year-old has been accepted to, count them, 18 colleges. But wait, there's more. The acceptances come with more than $1.5 million in scholarship offers. Proud parents, I'd say. How'd he get to be so smart? Well, his parents are IT professionals. That piqued Seb's interest, and the teen plans on studying cybersecurity and international relations in college. The teen spent the last year visiting 40 colleges all over the country. No word yet on where he will head. I guess he went to a different place every weekend. It is 7-Eleven. President Trump says that he is disappointed with Russian President Vladimir Putin after Putin attacked the credibility of Ukraine's leader, adding that the U.S. will impose secondary tariffs on Russia if it fails to reach a ceasefire with Kyiv. Trump was referencing comments Putin made Friday about temporarily putting Ukraine under external governance, which could effectively push out Ukrainian President Zelensky. By the way, Zelensky himself is making airs that he doesn't want to take part in the minerals plan, so this whole plan is a little tenuous. Expect Trump to make some behind-the-scenes phone calls with a lot of threats. Putin claimed that Zelensky lacks the legitimacy to sign a peace deal. Despite his threats, Trump reiterated that he and Putin have always gotten along very well and expressed confidence that Putin would not go back on his word on reaching an agreement to end the conflict. 7/12, a fire damaged the entryway at the Republican Party of New Mexico's Albuquerque headquarters early yesterday, which the party called a deliberate act of arson. The words ICE KKK were spray painted on the building. No one was hurt in the fire. Local law enforcement now investigating. And take a look at this video from over the weekend. This was in Paramus, New Jersey, outside a Tesla dealership. Apparently, a number of people were supposed to show up to protest that meanie, Elon, Trump, and Tesla. They expected thousands to show up. Well, about 70 people showed up, but hundreds, some 400, showed up supporting Elon Trump. As Elon Musk, might as well call him Elon Trump. Elon Musk, as you could see right here, shocking the liberals because they didn't anticipate this. So the little tiny number of liberals kind of kept to themselves. The police had to protect them by putting them in an area across the street in stanchions to keep them safe, although there was a lot of shouting back and forth. The conservatives, though, who were there supporting Trump and Elon Musk were again about 5 or 6 to 1 outnumbering the liberals. And this happened in many places around the country. Liberals no longer have the stronghold on protests and rallies because now the right wing is waking up and giving them a taste of their own medicine, and they don't like it. And by the way, we will be speaking this week with a person who owns an agency that hires phony protesters. They get paid to show up for these left-wing causes like these Trump rallies. Not Trump, excuse me. They're not the paid people. The anti-Elon Musk, anti-Tesla rallies and the pro-Palestine rallies. This guy tells the story. We're going to have him on. He's one of about 30 different companies around the country that does this, hiring crowds for several $100s per person to show up and rally and in some cases get a little crazy. But it gives the impression that there are thousands of people who think this way. Meanwhile, these people are all paid protesters. It's a fact. It's no longer a rumor. We speak to the guy who actually tells the press they're coming, and he's the one who actually goes out and hires the individuals. His name is Adam Schwartz, and we will speak to him this week. I already spoke to him over the weekend. Time now is 7:14 and the temperature is 47 degrees, mostly cloudy today. Could be an isolated thunderstorm, possibly severe with high winds. Could be damaging winds in some cases. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will return with your full Garden State forecast. And we're taking your calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away. $7:15. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings for your Monday. I'm Ken Rosato, and we're taking your calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Do I have a caller? Do we want to go to the caller? I think we should go to the caller. Let's do that. Good morning. You're on live with us here on New Jersey Mornings.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm doing great. Who's this?
This is Phil Ross, ROSS, also known as Master Phil, and I want to discuss morning workouts with everyone. Great way to start your day.
Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, please. That I could use, my friend. I'm dope.
The thing is that when you first get up in the morning, you have to do something. You have to move. Like, do you have a dog or a cat, Ken?
I did. I had dogs. Not right now, though, unfortunately. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. So what does the dog do the first thing it gets up? It stretches, right?
Yep.
Why aren't we doing the same thing? Are our dogs smarter than we are? Right? So the first thing people want to do is when they get up in the morning, get a nice stretch, and then get into some calisthenics. And you don't have to go crazy with this, but what you want to do is get like a 5-minute workout. Like, actually, I just dropped a book called Exercise Snacks, Fitness 5 Minutes at a Time. So if we get people up and moving, you get that blood pumping in the morning. It's a great way to start your day.
Hey, Phil, listen, not for anything. The Asian community, now I'm speaking in broad strokes here, painting in broad strokes, but we know that the Asian community does this. This is part of their culture, right? To wake up, they go in the park and they do their, I forget what the terminology is, what the term is, but they do those beautiful, very elegant stretches every morning. And you have people into their 80s and 90s doing that. There's something to it, right?
Yes. Yes,
so
100%.
What is it?
It's called Tai Chi.
Tai Chi. Thank you.
I'm a martial artist yes, you're welcome. And I've been doing martial arts for close to 50 years. So it's part of my lifestyle. So I'm very in tune with it.
You know what, Phil? Next time you call in, you should do a video call.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. Instead of just you could do a video call with us, and we'll put you on with that. I would love to talk about that. Let's set it up. Yeah, let's set it up. When we're done with the show, give us a call back. I'd love to set it up. Yes. Maybe we do something with you on exercise, because I think that's a great idea, and that's something everyone needs to do. I suffer from sciatica, and if I just did my stretches every day, I'd never have the problem. You're 100% right.
Oh, yes. Well, I will tell you this, Ken. I have a book coming out with the Dummy series, written with Dr. Pat Roth, and it's called Managing Back Pain for Dummies. It'll be out in October.
Well, I'll check that out, and let's have you on. Let's have you on to talk specifically about that too, Phil. This is again Phil Ross. Do you have a website?
Yes, philross.com.
philross.com. PHILROSS.com.
Yes. Yes, sir. And we have a YouTube channel at The Master Phil, where there's about 1,000 videos on it.
All right, Phil Ross. Thank you so much for calling in this morning. We appreciate you checking us out.
Pleasure, Ken.
All right, you have a great day, my friend.
I'll talk to you soon.
You bet. Thank you. That's cool. And you know, how important is that? And you know, being this is a morning show, I'm glad it's something I didn't ever think about putting on. I'm glad Phil called. Thank you. And call back again. It is now 7:19, and you know, we should go straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta. Mike, do you do stretches in the morning? Because God knows I need to. I've lost a lot of weight, but like you could look, you know, I have more dough than a pizzeria.
That's a good one. If I don't do my daily stretches, I wind up with severe back pain. So stretches are a clinical necessity for me to make sure
That's
that
good.
everything is in alignment and looking good. And yes, and the dog keeps me running out, at all hours of the day and night, especially when Nonna gives him too many treats, and then the next day it's like, oh, what did she give him? So yes,
I love it.
it's what goes in must come out. She doesn't quite understand that. Even at 3 in the morning.
This is true.
Well, what goes up must come down today because we have some very warm weather by this afternoon. Temperatures really rising into the end of the day, and then we'll see them crashing down by the end of the evening with this line of storms that will arrive later today. This is not technically the line of storms. There'll be another one that develops, but it'll look like that with the line of rain that moves in across New Jersey later on tonight. Right now, a few light showers around western sections of the state, seeing some light rain even down over toward the Parkway and Turnpike. That will all move east into the rest of this afternoon. Live now at 7:20, showing that the future radar has some of those showers entering Monmouth and Ocean County through the 9 o'clock hour. So there will still be some light rain even over in northeastern New Jersey toward Bergen County as the kids head off to school this morning. So the umbrellas will be in order through most of the morning. Into the afternoon, however, breaks of sun, which is how we make it up into the 60s from Long Branch and Point Pleasant. Low 60s for you, 70s inland, like out by Fort Dix and Mount Holly. 75 degrees with some breaks of sun, and still a few spotty sprinkles around. Even some of those thunderstorms arriving before the day is through, maybe as early as 5 or 6 p.m. there over toward Hunterdon County. So with the amount of allergens that are in the air, it's spring with the moderate level of tree pollen, weeds, grasses, and molds much lower, but still I think there's just enough of that wind around to keep those allergens floating around today. Wind gusts right now up to about 20 miles per hour, but they could gust up to about 30 or 35 there toward LBI before the day is through, with that wind off of the water and the southerly breeze helping to energize that front, especially as it moves across New Jersey. The best chance of severe weather is west of the Turnpike, but as those storms move eastward, anytime there's that southerly breeze tends to help promote a little bit more of that calming effect, especially in the air, helping to tame the atmosphere. Low level of UV today, so even though we get a little bit of sunny weather in the forecast for a few hours, it's not really long enough to promote a lot of UV. As the front pushes in, you can even see it drawn there in the clouds, that drier weather moving by. That's the area of severe weather that'll get us later on tonight, and it shows up pretty well in the futurecast for New Jersey. By the time we get to 3, 4 o'clock, the skies turn cloudy again after a little break of sun and milder weather. There's the front pushing on by. By 8, 9 o'clock, you see those angry shades of red, even some embedded purple and white in there. Could mean some damaging gusty winds, even some small hail. It all moves through by 9 or 10 o'clock and then is out of here. By tomorrow morning, a northwesterly wind takes over, and that'll dry us out and cool us down into tomorrow, and also keep us relatively clear for Wednesday. But then the wind switches direction again, blowing off of the water by Wednesday afternoon. So cooler weather in the 40s is on tap for the rest of the week. Beyond that, and even throughout Thursday, may briefly turn mild yet again with those southerly breezes by the afternoon on Thursday. With a warm front, we could be back up into the 70s and 80s again before the cooler weather takes over. So notice the difference here. 60s along the coasts Thursday afternoon, 80s inland, a good 20 or 22 degrees warmer by just a few miles. Look at that, up near 86 degrees in Trenton on Thursday, 5 p.m., 87 in Camden. So really warm weather before the temperatures cool off again with that warm front. And you can see it here with the temperatures and the clouds showing in the long-range futurecast throughout the weekend. It's going to be generally cooler, cloudier, with some showers and clouds throughout most of the weekend, even going into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we really don't see a break in the action for several days. Once that rain gets going, kind of sticks around for a while, which is good because it is rain that we could use given the drought is pretty persistent. This weekend, on and off showers both days, temperatures in the 50s with generally cool and cloudy conditions. We'll tell you more about the severe weather threat for this weekend, break it down by threat, meaning hail, wind, tornado chances. It's all coming up with another check of your forecast, Ken.
Hey, Mike, am I seeing some areas of fog right now? I'm looking at some of the traffic cams and I see fog in some parts of the area.
Yes, there is some fog around. I'll bring up the visibility map in our next weather update. I'll show you that too.
Okay, cool. I only say it because I'm kind of surprised, being that the system we're supposed to be getting later today. Usually, because one is stability and one is instability, right? So we have, I guess, a
Right.
front moving through that's coming, and that's hence the thunderstorms. See, I'm learning. I'm paying attention. It's like an on-air weather school. Little by little, I'll get there. I want my junior weather badge before this is all done 20 years from now.
I'll make
All
sure
right.
we'll have it on order, ready to go.
Just a little gold star right there. All right. Meteorologist Mike Favetta, thank you so much. In fact, let's bring up one of the cams that shows some of that fog if we could. This is mile marker 126.1 on the Garden State Parkway, exit 125. This is going to be down in the vicinity of Sayreville, South Amboy, near the Raritan Toll Plaza. And you can see it's moving. I mean, there's a little volume, but usually at this hour, I've checked that camera before. You can see some fog in the distance. Not terrible. But usually at this hour, there's a lot more traffic than that. So I think it's, like I said, a Monday and Friday thing. We're noticing probably 30% less traffic on all the area roadways. If there's no accident, that's what you're getting. And I think it's because a lot of people are either taking long weekends or working from home still. But that right now is the Garden State Parkway. Some other roadways to tell you about. Let's actually switch right over. The only other major incident to talk about, again, is I-80. This is east and westbound. We're going to keep talking about it because the latest information we have, you can see people still being detoured off Route 15 in Wharton. You could see everybody getting detoured off. But I think a lot of people are avoiding the area because that's pretty smooth traffic flow. Pam, am I wrong? Pam, our director, knows that right there perfectly. He said, Pam says, I'm certainly staying away. But that's not as bad as it's been. Again, maybe it's a Monday thing. We find out the latest from the governor. Finally, the governor decided to give us some info. Thank you, Governor, for waking up from your slumber. Apparently 5 more weeks before any westbound lanes open. 1 to 2 westbound will open in 5 weeks. Then another 1 to 2, depending on how many have opened. 1 to 2 will open 2 to 3 weeks after that. Eastbound, the end of May. So we're talking 7 weeks at the earliest before we see any kind of opening on the eastbound side, because that's where we have those big potholes, or I should say sinkholes, not potholes. And then after that, we will have 1 or 2 lanes open, and then finally by June we should have full reopened east and west. There you have it. 7:27 is our time, and it is now time for Politics from Trenton. We'll explain like nobody else can do it. Here is New Jersey Globe editor David Wildstein with the Inside Edge.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, March 31st. Welcome to the Inside Edge. You know, state assembly seats aren't always easy to come by, and some people work extraordinarily hard just to win one. There are plenty of examples of lawmakers in Trenton today that spent thousands of hours ringing doorbells, raising money, learning the issues, investing in retail campaigning, winning their seats by overpowering incumbents or winning tough districts by outworking everyone else. Now, Garnett Hall is not one of those legislators. She was part of a group that just received a tap on the shoulder, an anointment as her party's pick in a safe district. She got there easily when Mila J.C. announced 2 years ago that she wasn't running for re-election. Garnett Hall didn't go through any screening committee. She didn't go through a convention. She, in 3 days, got a spot on the line and won a primary because of the strength of the line against probably a more qualified opponent, Frank McGehee, the mayor of Maplewood. I mean, now we're in an era where the rules have changed. The county line no longer exists. There are conventions in Essex County, and there's office block ballots that don't give somebody a preferential place on that ballot. Garnett Hall got to Trenton having received something of great value without investing all that much time or effort. And she didn't do much with it. She didn't build relationships with county committee members or with other stakeholders. She didn't raise money. She had about $17,000 in the bank as of the end of last year. And she sure hasn't written landmark legislation or come up with big ideas. Some of her colleagues have described her to me as just unremarkable. Now she's complaining about a process. She's angry that she was dumped, and she's now going to fight to keep her 28th district assembly seat. She was a product of the political machine, and she just wasn't able to adapt to change. And now Garnett Hall, who already has a six-figure county job, now she's a reformer, finding her way onto Steve Fulop's ticket. Fulop's got nothing to lose here. If Hall can bring him 100 votes, well, that's 100 more than he would have gotten without her. But what's interesting is that until Hall lost the support of her party, she was a loyal soldier. She, for example, voted to change the state's Oprah laws. And that was supposed to be an important issue to some people in the 28th district and progressives in Maplewood and South Orange. And these are Democrats who fought a process where the well-connected were anointed. They got that process changed. And now they don't want to abide by it. Instead, they're advocating for the reelection of someone who voted against their issues. And I guess they're not concerned that Garnett Hall's ideology appears completely fungible. By the way, she won't be pounding the pavement this week. She's on vacation this week. That's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I'll be back tomorrow.
David is one of the few people who can use the word fungible. I notice he uses it about 2 to 3 times a week. I want you today, this is your assignment, sometime in your interaction with people today, use the term fungible. See how you could use it in a sentence. I'm wondering if it comes from the word fungus in Latin, which means mushroom, fungus, fungible, because it means it spreads everywhere. Now you know the origins. Don't you feel better? Unnecessary information. 7:31, the phone lines are open. We'll take your calls again. We did just a little while ago here. 888-658-0234. When we come back, everything you ever wanted to know about New Jersey's gubernatorial debates. Why do we know? Because On New Jersey is going to be hosting a bunch of them with the New Jersey Globe and Rider University. We're going to tell you all about that in a moment. Some serious weather could be on the way, though, in the meantime today. It'll be mostly cloudy, could be an isolated thunderstorm, maybe some high winds and some severe storms. Depends on where you are. That'll be later in the day. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta knows a lot more than me about this, and he'll explain how and why in just a moment. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings, seen daily on ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News On, Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, and X. And now we stream live at Rumble and Twitch at twitch.tv/On New Jersey. We'll be right back. Very good morning to you. It is Monday, March 31st, 2025. It is 47 degrees at 7:33. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. Mostly cloudy today. Could be an isolated thunderstorm, possibly some severe weather when those storms pass with high winds, maybe damaging winds. The details now from meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike. Is there a specific part of the state that should be looking out for this more than other parts?
Usually the western sections of New Jersey, because you have that less of a marine influence, because the cooler marine air tends to abate a lot of the storm activity, especially as the front pushes eastward. Fog does that too. And you mentioned, Ken, a lot of fog across New Jersey. That's what's happening in the northeastern section of the state, where you see the shade of red there, less than a quarter-mile visibility. In many of those areas, 0 visibility. Back over toward Morristown, 1 mile visibility in Flemington, but still pretty clear down toward the shore points with that breeze pushing in and moving a lot of that air around. So throughout the course of the day, there will be some improvement to the visibility, helping to warm things up. The sun tends to lift the fog, make the air a little more unstable, and that only helps fuel the storms that'll arrive later on this afternoon. Once we get beyond the storm threat this evening, we clear out and bring back the sunshine for the first time since Saturday. We'll get a beautifully clear day. It'll be very pretty. It'll just be rather chilly throughout the day with highs only in the 50s. Then we have the milder weather return for Thursday. We could be up in the 80s again across New Jersey with a rainy finish to the week. So there'll be some mornings where we'll see some fog like right now, and then we're back to the clear sky by the afternoon. In terms of temperatures today, much cooler along the coast from Atlantic City down toward Ocean City and Avalon, with a little bit of a touch of fog throughout the course of the day. Temperatures inland with the sunshine warming nicely back into the mid-70s later on. Glassboro and Camden enjoying those mid-70s with some breaks of sun. So it'll feel quite nice before the storms come in after around 5 o'clock this evening. Had a decent amount of rainfall over the weekend, especially with all of those heavy showers. Well, more rain is on the way, and you can see it right now with some of the clouds starting to break up. We'll get a little bit of a break of sun in here. This clearing is actually helping promote some of that fog because you need clear sky above that fog layer to allow the fog to really become dense, and that's exactly what's occurring right now in northern New Jersey. The rain chance is quite high, especially this evening, 80%. Obviously, everybody gets rain across New Jersey, but this is the 24-hour average that the computer calculates. But then going into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, notice the rain chances increase each and every day, and there are pretty significant rain chances throughout the weekend. That's just a very stagnant air pattern that gives us some wet weather each and every day. So let's talk about tonight. We have the severe weather outlook, and on the scale here, we are a slight risk of severe weather, and that basically means that within 50 miles of any point of New Jersey, could see some gusty winds in excess of 58 miles per hour or quarter-size hail. It's a 1 inch or greater. That's also a 15% chance of hail that we could have through New Jersey, a severe hail. And then, of course, the gusty winds up there on the scale in the yellow area up to 15%, which, again, is a categorical statistical average, meaning that we have a pretty good chance of seeing severe weather later on this evening. A 2% chance of a tornado is quite low, but it just means that there might be a little bit of a weak rotation in the atmosphere that could spin up an EF0, maybe take down a few trees. Again, nothing like Ken said, like Kansas, but it typically happens this time of year with these types of fronts. In terms of rainfall, could get a good soaking in northwestern New Jersey, up to 2 inches of rain later on tonight. And that's good because this is the area of New Jersey in the northwestern corner that is still running at about a 1 to 2 inch rainfall deficit just in the last 30 days. We've had plenty of rain across central and southern New Jersey where the drought is continuing, but again, need to make up for that in the northern section of the state, especially since it's been so dry this winter. A good level of air quality today, especially this evening with those storms pushing through, a nice gusty breeze taking over, maybe even a severe wind at times. But again, it all clears out for tomorrow. A northwesterly wind takes over. Look at that sunshine up and down the East Coast. Looks great for our Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, with another warm front pushing in for Thursday, it turns very mild as the temperatures warm Thursday afternoon. But then we see that weak front push in and cools us down for Friday into Saturday. So there will be some rain that returns this upcoming weekend, giving us kind of a cloudy, gray, and cooler forecast by Saturday and Sunday. So enjoy the mild spikes that are in the forecast, especially for tomorrow. And, well, actually, it's a little cooler tomorrow, but Wednesday and Thursday sees those temperatures climb to 75 degrees. I mean, to jump 25 degrees in just a day is something. Friday cools down with those clouds, and then there's rainy, cool conditions with temperatures in the 50s on Saturday and Sunday. Doesn't get much better at the shore either, especially with the cooler breeze off of the water. We have the fog around today, the clouds around early tomorrow, clearing for Wednesday, but then by Thursday, Friday into the weekend, look how we're kind of stuck in the 50s this weekend with those clouds around for Saturday and Sunday. So it looks pretty wet during the weekend days. At least we get a few warm days here and there, especially later on today with the sunny weather that arrives for just a few hours. And then again on Thursday before rain immediately follows and cools us back down. So we can't quite hang on to those 70s for very long, but I think we're in the offing. We'll get there eventually with some cooler weather and some milder days that will stretch one into the next, Ken. So on our way to making it look and feel a little bit nicer. Just it's the transition period as we enter
You
April.
got it. And that happens. And just beware. I'm glad you mentioned there's a tiny, tiny chance of an EF0. Not a big deal. It's not gonna, you don't have to run into a storage basement. But nonetheless, we just don't want people to say tomorrow if there is something. Why didn't we hear anything on TV? He didn't say anything
Right.
about it, right? So you just have to say that the 2% is not a big chance, but it's a chance. And that's your job,
Yeah.
right? Let them know about it.
Mhm.
Meteorologist Mike Favetta, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you as always. And we do have a little bit of a delay, about 25 minutes now, just due to volume into the Lincoln Tunnel into Manhattan. We're also told there are delays on Route 1, northbound Franklin Corners Road, Baker's Basin Road in Lawrence Township. All lanes are open, but this is all due to volume at this hour, not unusual. We have delays on New Jersey's Route 42 northbound from north of exit 8, Clementon Backwood Road in Gloucester Township to 295 in Belmore. All lanes are open, but again, volume delays. And of course, we could show the I-80 issues. East and westbound I-80 is going to be closed at least 5 more weeks, even westbound, 5 more weeks. And this I-80 closure, again, this is due to, first they have to come up with a plan that has to be finalized. That's going to be coming up in the next couple of days. Once it's finalized and approved, then the construction formally can begin. So you see all the contractors waiting there. They're there sketching all the areas, every square inch of that roadway to make sure when they do have a plan, it is a plan that will work, unlike the previous plan from the 1960s that did not. So they're just making sure that that roadway is 100% safe when it comes time to reopen. So westbound, you'll get a couple of lanes reopening in early May, then another 1 or 2 lanes toward the latter part of May. Eastbound, you're not going to have any openings until at least the end of May. Please be patient. Route 15 is going to be busy as your alternate in Wharton as a result. It is 7:41 right now. New Jersey was awarded the rights to produce and air the primary debates for the 2025 New Jersey gubernatorial race, edging out legacy media giants, including a prominent New York City TV station and a well-established New Jersey cable channel. I like to say we're like the little engine that could. I think I can. Joining us now is Gerald Diambra, who is the founder of On New Jersey and our executive producer of the morning show. Gerald, I know you worked your tail off to get this, so congratulations for you and for all of us on securing the rights to the New Jersey gubernatorial primary debates. Tell us how On New Jersey, a streaming platform, which is the future, everyone in the industry says this is the future of broadcast, managed to outmaneuver traditional legacy media outlets like New York City TV stations, New Jersey's traditional cable news channel, in order to get this high-profile event.
Yeah, good morning, Ken. You know, I have to give a lot of credit to our partners, David Wildstein over at the New Jersey Globe, who is just really masterful when it comes to all things politics. And he's on the show all the time. You know that, you see that. And, David was really instrumental in putting the plan together and helping us to go in front of ELEC with our other partners, which are Rider University. And on the Republican debate, it's SaveJersey.com. So we have, this amazing team that we've assembled on, the politics, the journalism side, the streaming side. And we put this plan together to deliver the debates in a way that really haven't been done before. So the debates will be live at the end of May. They will be streamed on multiple platforms, not only on New Jersey, but we're streaming them on platforms, social platforms. So it's on really, you have one of these, you can see the debate. You don't have to have cable. You don't have to have an antenna up in your attic or one of those, those flimsy antennas that go behind your TV. You don't need one of those. Just pop it right on your phone and you got it. But we also recognize that people don't watch TV the same way anymore. Appointment viewing TV just kind of isn't done anymore. So what we're also doing is we're carving the debate up into sections. It's going to be 3 major topics to be announced. And what we're going to do is offer those as kind of like a mini series. So you can watch what's important to you. You don't have to sit and watch this entire long debate. If you're really interested in one specific section, you can go on demand and watch that. Now, we're also going to offer it in multiple languages. So it's not just going to be offered in English. It's going to be offered in Spanish and a few other languages, mostly closed caption. But the availability. And our goal was to get these debates to as many New Jersey voters as possible. No restrictions. We're not pre-taping it. We're not editing it. There's a live audience. We're going to be at the Donald Payne School in Newark, which seats about 800 people. So we're going to have like this amazing energy happening during these two debates. So you're going to have a live audience. You're going to have this live audience as well.
Right.
And it's going to be just electric. I'm excited. I can't wait till we do these.
I have never heard of such dynamic, amazing planning, brilliant thinking outside of the box. And I'm not just blowing smoke with you right now, but this is really thinking outside of the box. David Wildstein as well. I worship the ground he walks on. I love the man. He thinks in a way that nobody else thinks.
He really does.
David he's an unassuming guy. When you see David, you don't know what to expect. And then he starts to talk and you can't, I hang on every word that man says, because he is brilliant and just thinks differently. And this is compelling. And the idea that if you think about it, how many people would watch the traditional broadcast channels in New York to see a gubernatorial primary debate beginning to end? Probably not a lot, right? They would go find something else. But the idea that we're doing this as a streaming platform and the video will live online in its entirety, so that those media outlets will come to our streaming platform to take those sound bites. So we will literally be providing the service for the whole New Jersey state.
We're also offering the live stream to any media outlet that wants to carry it. No restrictions. So if you're a TV station, if you're a radio station, if you're just a website or a blogger, we will give you the live feed. We will give you an embed. We will give you whatever you need, because our goal here, again, is to get this debate or both of these debates to as many viewers as possible before Election Day.
This is a whole different thing. So in other words, if they had gone with one of the channels, that may not have, or likely would not have been the case. It would have been exclusive to that channel. But by going to us, you're still going to get the option to have those channels. So you get it all by coming to us, by having us provide the service, if you will. But this is
and I have
everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have to hand it to ELEC and recognizing that viewer habits have really, really changed, and that people are turning to streaming. They're turning to social for their news. I mean, a lot of people are watching your show, Ken, right now on social media. They're not watching on an app. They're not watching on their TV, or they're just listening on their phone. People are able to choose now how they consume this kind of content, live content, and we're offering it in ways that you can consume it any way you want to make sure you get the information.
Well, this is fascinating. I can't wait. I guess our Laura Jones will be there as well, and
our Laura Jones will be there.
And I can't wait. This is going to be exciting. If you'll allow me to come, I'd be honored to take part.
We would love to have you there.
Thank you. Even if I just give me one of the seats in the back, I'll be the guy with the popcorn in the back watching. But I'll be. I
might sit right next to you for that. So
that's a good thing. Gerald, when are the debates being held?
So May 18th, Sunday, May 18th, we're going to see the Democrat debate. And then 2 days later on the 20th, Tuesday the 20th, the Republican debate. The reason the Democrats are going on Sunday, and this is again brilliant on the part of David Wildstein, is because there are two members of Congress running on the Democrat side. And on a Sunday, there's no chance of them being called to Washington for a vote. But if we were to do this on a Tuesday or Wednesday, there are chances that they could get called. And because, the margins are so thin in DC, Every vote counts in DC right now. There's no big margin in terms of when there's a vote, so they have to be there. So it gives us the opportunity to say there's no reason you can't be here, but they also have to participate in these elect-sponsored debates, and they have to do it because the candidates who are in these debates are accepting matching funds. So they have to come on. So we have to make it as convenient as possible for the candidates' schedules. And then, of course, on the Republican side on Tuesday, we do have one state legislator, but the legislature typically doesn't meet on that day. We've checked the schedule, and he's clear. So the dates are good. Everyone should be there. Hopefully, there's no traffic. But I don't know if anyone's coming down Route 80, so I think we'll be okay.
Let's hope not. Let's hope
Yeah.
not. All right. On New Jersey co-founder Gerald D'Ambra, thank you for coming on this morning with us. You're always behind the scenes. This poor guy he never sleeps. You're a dad, a husband, the co-founder of this channel, the executive producer of the morning show. I'm texting with you at 2 p.m. I'm texting with you at midnight. I don't know when you get a second to sleep, and you clean up nice too for TV. I appreciate you so much for coming on this morning, pal. Well, you're a TV reporter for those people who don't realize. So thank you so much, Gerald. All right, buddy. It is 7:50 right now. Let's forego the break if we can, Pam. Let's if I'm going to give Mike the heads up, and I'll just kind of tap dance for a second because I'm throwing a curveball at Mike. There, I see him popping up. It is 7:50 right now and 47 degrees. Meteorologist Mike Favetta on a day where we might have some serious weather in some parts, maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm. Highs in the low to mid 70s, and Mike has the full Garden State forecast. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, Ken. Yeah, especially in the northwestern corner of the state. You see those lightning bolts there behind me over towards Sussex and Newton, even over in Warren County and Hunterdon County. These are the areas that could tap into the best chance of severe weather because this time of year, the ocean is still very cold. With a wind out of the south and east, that tends to tame the atmosphere. So as the front pushes toward the coast, it loses a lot of its energy. That's why in the northwestern corner of the state, you could see the best chance of severe weather. But of course, that severe weather threat extends toward Wayne, out by Hackensack, and even Jersey City and Newark later on today, where highs will climb briefly into the upper 60s, even the low 70s. It's rain that we really need tonight because there's still that severe drought in northern New Jersey, even though the drought ended in all of Monmouth and northern Ocean County. The drought continues as severe and even extreme over toward Millville and down by Cape May. So the dry weather persists there, but at least in the last 30 days or so, while we haven't seen much rain in northern New Jersey, shown in yellow, there's been an excess of average rainfall in Monmouth and Ocean County, even through much of Burlington and Atlantic County. So good news there that we've seen quite a bit of rainfall, and that rainfall deficit not as bad in central New Jersey, but the northwestern corner of the state, yes, still seeing that pretty intense amount of rainfall and dry weather that persists. The second week of April projecting cooler than average weather, that deep shade of blue showing up here across not just New Jersey, but most of the Northeast, and then back out west, above average temperatures likely. So a big difference depending on your location, with the dry weather persisting for most of the northern states. Here in the Northeast and in New Jersey, slightly above average chances of wetter weather. So cooler, wetter, that's kind of the trend, at least going into the weekend, the first weekend in April, as we wrap up March today with some severe weather potentially, cooler but sunnier tomorrow, and then very chilly by Wednesday with highs only at 50. We warm back up to the 70s on Thursday. The warm front does a great job of pulling in some milder weather, some rain later on that night, and then cooler weather takes over for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with temperatures only in the 50s and showers this weekend. So a very different feel this weekend as compared to this past Saturday, where it was nice and mild. The short points, your 7-day has the fog around for today. By tomorrow, cooler still, as well as Thursday. Thursday tries to warm up just a little bit, as well as Friday, and then we're back into the cooler trend of 50s this upcoming weekend. So cooler, cloudy weather. Not exactly, that shoulder season we were hoping for. I mean, it was gorgeous on Saturday afternoon, but this Saturday is at the beaches is going to be a very different scene, Ken, with some pretty chilly and rainy weather on tap.
All right, Mike. Thank you very much for the heads up. Appreciate that, sir. It is now 7:53. Let's take a look right now at a camera that you'll say, "So what, Ken?" This is the approach to the GWB coming in on 80. And if you look, you say, "Oh, this is extraordinarily light." Well, as of just 5 minutes ago, there is a report of a disabled tractor trailer on the GWB upper level headed into New York. So this is the eastbound upper level. So if you are headed into the city and you're going to take the GWB, head to the lower level, which is the left side of your screen there, okay, closer to the mountain. All right, we call it a mountain. It's about 150 feet. We call it a mountain, as opposed to the right side, which is the upper level. So the upper level GWB has again a disabled tractor trailer blocking the left lane. So just avoid that area, because I think the next time we show this picture, you're going to see the upper level, which is the middle right of the screen. You're going to see some buildup on that. I'm just guessing. I hope not. Nonetheless, Garden State drivers, take a deep breath. I-80 will be closed for up to 5 more weeks westbound, up to 7 more weeks eastbound at exit 34, Route 15 in Wharton, because repair designs must still be finalized in the next week, and work can only officially begin after that. If everything goes to plan, 2 westbound lanes would reopen to traffic in early May, with the remaining westbound lanes reopening later. On the eastbound side, work on 2 lanes could be finished and reopened toward the end of May. Sinkholes, you'll recall, first opened up along I-80 in December because of a series of 90 underground voids where there used to be a series of iron mines. 7:55. Alina Habba was sworn in on Friday as the new U.S. Attorney for the state of New Jersey, officially taking over from John Giordano, who is departing the role after a brief tenure to serve as U.S. Ambassador to Namibia. During the ceremony, President Trump praised Habba as a warrior for the rule of law, while Habba pledged to clean up New Jersey in her new role. The swearing in comes 5 days after Trump announced on social media that she would be taking over that role. Habba is a native of Summit and currently lives in Bernardsville. It is 7:56. Anti-Tesla protesters were unpleasantly surprised Saturday when they were significantly outnumbered by Elon Musk supporters. Hundreds of people swarmed the Tesla auto dealership in Paramus on Saturday to show their love for Elon Musk, President Trump, and Doge, the groups that's scouring federal government agencies in search of waste and abuse. A protest against Musk had been scheduled to start at noon. They expect a ton of people. But instead, they encountered hundreds of counter-demonstrators. They got there first. They unfurled red, white, and blue pro-Trump banners in front of the dealership on Route 17. All the cars came by tooting their horns in support of these people, the pro-Trumpers. Maybe the artificially organized and paid anti-Tesla rabble-rousers may want to wake up and realize it doesn't look like they are in the majority. 7:57, almost 400 contestants showed up over the weekend at American Dream to compete in rock, paper, scissors. As we first told you about last Monday, most of the contestants were Garden Staters, with several from as far away as Ohio and North Carolina. The evenly split male and female crowd range in age from 18 to 78. In the end, Nashville native Kevin Wong, who's a student at U Pennsylvania, won the $10,000 grand prize after a thrilling 4-3 final. A TikTok user posted a disturbing video calling on people to shoot at ICE agents on site. The user said that agents had been showing up in masks, unmarked vehicles, and without badges, claiming that the agents could be anybody. So he suggested they can be shot, which is not the case, but he's suggesting it because you could tell authorities that we didn't know if they were gangbangers, so we had a right to shoot them. Officially, no, you cannot shoot somebody for that reason, and you should not and cannot, because you will be arrested. It is illegal. Director of Homeland Security Kristi Noem says her agency is investigating. And President Trump has threatened to bomb Iran and to impose secondary tariffs if the country does not come to an agreement with his administration about its nuclear program. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said yesterday that Iran had rejected direct negotiations with the United States in response to a letter from Trump. Under former President Biden, Iran's nuclear program was allowed to proceed without response, bringing it, unfortunately, to where it is today. That is, Iran is able to produce several potential nuclear bombs, and they have the ability to put them on intercontinental missiles. This was in direct violation of previous agreements that Iran had with Western nations. Thank you, former President Biden, for being sound asleep at the switch. And published reports say a Hudson County police chief is accused of assaulting and harassing his officers. Complaints against him include the chief Hooping on floors, exposing himself to his staff, attempting to drug coworkers, and sticking a hypodermic needle into an officer's genitals. Yeah, that's the accusation. North Bergen Police Chief Robert Farley, in his position just over a year, also accused of retaliating against an officer who tried to report him to the state attorney general. 5 officers in the town say they plan on suing over the alleged behavior. A township spokesperson calls the claims false and outrageous. Our time is 7:59. If you are headed out today, you better beware because we could get some serious weather. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be back with the full Garden State forecast. Also, we have a special interview that we have coming up, somebody you'll want to check out. It is a woman who has done some really good deeds in the tri-state, specifically in Jersey City, but she appears on New York, New Jersey radio stations. You'll probably recognize her if you've listened to those radio stations. And you are watching ONNJ Mornings. We are streamed daily at ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News On, Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, and X. And now we're streamed live on Rumble and Twitch at twitch.tv/ONNJ. We're coming right back. Very good morning. It's 8 a.m. Monday, March 31st, 2025. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, taking your calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. May have some severe weather today, mostly cloudy. There's a chance, small chance, but a chance for some isolated severe thunderstorms. Highs today, low to mid 70s. We head to meteorologist Mike Favetta with a first check of the hour with the Garden State forecast. Good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning to you, Ken. Yeah, live now at 8:01. Some light rain coming down across New Jersey. You see it here on the radar picture. Some of these shades of green dotting the radar map, especially moving east over the parkway in the next few moments. Most of that light rain really allowing for a nuisance shower early on this Monday. Well, with that, some milder weather South Jersey. Temperatures hold right now in the upper 50s and even some low 60s south of 195. You're still in the 40s in northern New Jersey, so a little bit chill waking up north of especially Route 80. With all of those breezes coming in from the south today, wind gusts upwards of 26 miles per hour, pushing in some of that milder air. It is 19 degrees warmer than this time yesterday in Medford, 16 degrees warmer in Camden, but only about 4 or 5 degrees warmer in northern New Jersey. With the light shades of green rolling across the screen, these are the showers that came through last night. A little bit of a clearing high up in the cloud deck, allowing for some fog to persist, and then of course some light rain that follows. So it's going to be a wet, kind of a damp morning. Maybe get a break of sun later on this afternoon, and you can see that with the futurecast. As long as that wind pushes in from the south, you see temperatures climb into the mid 70s over toward Morristown, Newark, back down by Flemington and Trenton, maybe even flirting with 80 if it's warm enough. But look over toward the coast. When you find yourself along the water, you're still in the 50s at Long Branch and 53 toward Atlantic City. So wind direction and proximity to the chilly Atlantic is key today. But with those breaks of sun, that helps to destabilize the atmosphere. You get a few pop-up showers and storms ahead of the front, maybe as soon as 5 or 6 p.m. And then the main line comes throughout 7 and 8 o'clock. And this is the front that could bring some damaging gusty winds in excess of 58 miles per hour, which is the threshold for severe, or the potential for some hail. Severe hail is considered 1 inch or greater, about the size of a quarter. So yeah, there's certainly some potential there for some, if not the severe wind and hail, some smaller hail and some gusty winds over 50 miles an hour. That's likely. The wind switch direction throughout the overnight, bring back a cooler breeze tomorrow, but plenty of sunshine all day Tuesday. And then, of course, another round of a wind shift on Wednesday because it's March. Weather does what it wants, changes every 5 minutes. by Saturday. We see those rains come in by the end of the weekend. So there'll be progressively days that see a little bit of wet weather, a little bit of sunshine, and then even by Thursday with another round of heat that brings in highs back into the 80s potentially by Thursday afternoon. Look at that, up in the upper 70s, low 80s by the end of the day. 84 in Trenton, 82 in Hackensack, and 82 in Newark. And then we see those temperatures come right back down with the front pushing through for the end of the week. So some pretty wild weather every few days here. We see a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Wednesday brings back cooler weather and then mild again by Thursday with another shower. We'll tell you more about the weekend forecast in detail in the this evening's storms. Ken, that's coming up with your next weather update in a few minutes.
Very good, Mike, and glad we are on top of it. I say we, you are on top of it. Much appreciated, sir, as always. It is 8:04 right now, 47 degrees, and as Mike said, some light rain throughout the area. And again, severe weather could be headed our way. Just to be scared, just to beware. So keep your eyes open. If you see the sky get particularly black, you might want to just get in a car or get to a sheltered place just in case. Just be aware of that. That's all. 8:05 now is our time. Let's check the traffic. We understand that there is a crash on the Garden State Parkway northbound south of 81, exit 81, which is Lakehurst Road in Toms River Township. All lanes are open, but that crash is going to cause some rubbernecking as we go by. Let's take a look right now at the GWB cam if we could. This is mile marker 121.48. This is headed into New York. Now, volume has picked up just a little bit, really not too badly, but I think things are going to change. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, things are going to change on this approach. Why? We understand that now we have two problems. We have police department activity on the GWB lower level, and that is by the Manhattan Expressway in Manhattan headed into New Jersey, which can cause rubbernecking on the other side. And then on the eastbound side, we understand there's a disabled tractor trailer on the upper level, and that is blocking the left lane. So I think that's going to start causing a little of a delay, but as we mentioned earlier, overall traffic is lighter Mondays and Fridays. Just fewer people commuting in. Either they're working from home or taking long weekends. It is spring break time, so that looks like that might be the case. All the roadways, I'm looking across the board, every one of our cameras, extraordinarily light. That's a good thing. We also want to bring up the I-80 cam if we can and let you know once again that I-80 east and westbound remains closed. This is Route 15, exit 34 in Wharton, New Jersey. People being detoured off onto Route 15 in both directions. We're told that westbound 1 or 2 lanes may open up 5 weeks from now. It was originally going to be this week. Nope, now it's going to be 5 weeks from now. And we are told the eastbound lanes might be 7 to 8 weeks from now. So be very patient. It's about getting this right, not getting it done quickly. It is 8:07 right now, and we are shining. We're good, Pam? All right. So just to let you know, we're just setting up a special guest that we have on. I'm looking forward to have on. We're just making sure that the technicals are all set. I'm waiting for Pam. We'll get it set. Just to let you know also, a little later on in the show, we're going to have on our tech expert, Fisher, who is going to be talking about TikTok. Did you know that TikTok was sold? Bet you didn't know that. We're going to tell you the details, and that's coming up in within the half an hour. We'll be talking to tech expert Fisher. He's also going to be talking about a new algorithm on Facebook. Are we going to like it is the question. Yes, Pam? I heard a click. Okay. So that's the question. Are we going to like the Facebook algorithm? And that has been the question. So Fisher will be along to talk about that in just a little bit. And we also are going to be talking. We have a couple of really, really cool things. We're going to be talking about college students and how they're spending spring break, etc. Okay. All right. So now we are ready. It is 8:08. We're shining a spotlight on individuals making a difference in our community and love to do that. Joining us is Tamika McReynolds, who is a dedicated advocate for kids and teens, known for her impactful work through her presence on social media. She's on the radio, 94.7 The Block, and through her church. She is the first lady, basically, of Jersey City. Everybody there knows who she is. Tamika, welcome to the show. It is so good to finally have you on. I've wanted to have you on forever. Thank you. How are you today?
We love you.
I love you
Hi,
back
Ken.
1,000 times. God
How
bless
are
you.
you?
Thank you for coming. God let me wake up today, so I'm good. That's a good thing.
Me
He doesn't have to do that, right?
I
And your
know,
husband's a
I
big
know.
pastor too, so he knows. So you know, and he
Yes,
knows what I'm talking about.
yes,
Let's start.
yes.
Look at you have a heart that jumps out on the screen, warmth and your commitment to helping the community. Start with what drives you. What inspired you to begin working with kids and teens? And you have really rescued a lot in the community. How did your journey get started, Tamika?
Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, it's always been in me. I want to say like well, since I was like 13 or 14 years old, I always just wanted to give people a shot at the title. When people thought that they couldn't do, I always wanted to let them know that we can do. So I just always been motivated and always wanted to make sure that I can let the kids know we can always rock out.
Right. And you make big, I mean, when you meet up with the kids in schools and stuff, you have big presentations. It's not just like, here's Tamika McReynolds. Hi, everybody. I mean, it's like a show. You really have a show. Tell us about some of the specific programs and the initiatives that you're involved in to support young people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And first of all, I just want to thank you, because the excitement is when we get to share everything that we get to do. So, number one is that we want to make sure that the kids know that they always are the VIPs. So when we actually show up at the schools, we call them the jump outs. It's under the Pastor John H. McReynolds Teen Magazine that I started after I married Rev over 16 years ago. Yay, he's a lucky guy. No, not only him, I'm a lucky girl. Um, when we started this, we literally just wanted to continue to combine the initiatives of making something positive. You know, we have a lot of shootings, we have a lot of gun violence, we have a lot of just negativity. And I always wanted to make sure no matter what you're going through, we always can get through. So when we literally show up at these schools, and again, I've been doing this for over 20 years. We
Wow.
done, done took care of over probably 100,000 kids, and still going. We literally have like a pep rally, and I bring DJ Walla from Hot 97, which is our celebrity DJ for the magazine. And we literally see the whole school. So whether it's 800 kids or 3,000 kids, when we come in the building, they know that we coming with the excitement, asking them questions about, their just day to day mental health. That's a big part of, what I do now in regards to making sure that the kids know that don't be ashamed. All of us are going through different challenges and crises. We here to be able to support you. So we bring all that excitement, kid. You got to come to one of the pet rallies.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, no. Listen, I told you, look, my husband, works for one of the TV stations in New York as an
Yes,
executive
yes,
producer, and he's
yes.
had you on that channel. I'm
I
saying
love
it
him.
like I can, like, right? You see, yeah, me too. I'm very
I
lucky.
love
I am very lucky, right? We're both very lucky. And
Yes,
he is
yes.
I can't even tell you how in love he is with you, and I can see why. And he turned me on to you, and I started looking at your Instagram and your posts, and I said, I started to cry actually with some of the stuff, your motivating things that you do with the kids. You got me emotional. And I said, we have to
Oh,
have this
wow.
woman on. Working with kids and teens, though, can come with some challenges. So, what are some of the biggest hurdles you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Well, you know what, Ken? Even with me, I had to go through trials and tribulations. Over 10 years ago, I caught a case, was able to go through that. I got through it. Thank God, with my husband, Pastor John H. McReynolds. Um, you know, I literally was able to rise up from that. And I think sometimes kids think that, even some adults think that when we go through different things that you can't make it. But that's not the factor. That's not what determines us. I want to be able to give them a platform. I call it the red carpet, get your mind right. You have a red carpet that we'll put you on. It's not just for the VIPs, it's just not for the celebrities. It's for all of you that's willing to be able to stand up for yourself and letting you know that we can go through some stuff, be down, be depressed, go through it, but still know that you can get up and you can win with that support. So that's the excitement and the hurdles and everything, as far as with me going through. It's like I'm not giving up and I'm not going to let them give up.
Well, just a reminder to everybody that Donald Trump was arrested and there was a mugshot. He was charged, I should say. And also, I believe a person named Jesus was arrested, charged, and convicted, right? So if they
Yes,
could get through it and come back, well, in Jesus, he had the ultimate resurrection. He conquered it, and
yes,
because of Donald Trump became president again. So
yes,
obviously, sometimes we have challenges and trials and
yes,
tribulations. That doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Sometimes that helps us come back more
absolutely.
powerful on the other side. It's a lesson. Can you think of a specific example of a young person whose life you've seen transform because of your presence and efforts?
Oh, absolutely, Ken. Matter of fact, you will see it on our Instagram when we do our mental health on Saturdays. It's actually two of them. I can tell you. One is Ashley and one is Diasia. Diasia lost her brother in the streets with gun violence. And when I tell you, this is a young lady that's 17 years old, go to one of the high schools here in Hudson County. And when I tell you, she's at my hip, not only with the anger, not only with the pain, not only with the emotions as a 17-year-old. It happened, I want to say, when she was 13 years old. Her and her mom they become my family. I never brought it up, even when I brought them up on the radio station, even when we just did the pilot, for the talk show. They wanted to bring it up to be able to say that it's healing. But they lost their brother. She lost her son. And for a 17-year-old to be able to get up and say that I need my mental health to be right, that I want to be able to share my pain. I want to be able to let other teens know I got to still go to school. I still got to get up. And she said that her
Mhm.
mother was her strength. And if my mother can forgive the shooter that took her brother away, because remember, there's two different pain levels. There's the level of pain for the sister, right? The siblings. And then there's the different pain level for the parents. But for this
Mhm.
teenager to be able to get up and, on the radio station with 4 million listeners and tell her about her journey and about her mental health, they tell me the reason why they're able to do it is because they done sat in the room with me. I'm emotional,
Wow.
even just talking about it now. You know what I mean? So it's like with things like that, Ken, it's like knowing that I know I got to keep going, keep going, keep going, because I'm giving these kids a voice. I'm giving them a platform and giving them an opportunity.
Because you're loaded with the Holy Spirit, lady. That's why, and that can't be disguised. That comes right out, and I feel it. I feel it as I'm talking to you right
Thank
now. You can
you.
feel it just
Thank
emanate
you.
off the screen. Tell people how they could watch, see your website. I know you're on 94.7 also, right? The Block.
Yes, we are heading back on. We took a little break, but we are on back. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Ken. I never thought I could do radio. Let me just say that part. They saw something in me too and said, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna put you on the radio." So I never thought I could do it. And we launched in July, and we're heading back on April. So they definitely can hear me on the third Sunday, on Sundays from 8 to 8:30 on 94.7 The Block. But they could definitely go on my IG, Tamika McReynolds. And they can contact me. They can email me, lady_McReynolds@yahoo.com. But I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to find. If they definitely want to get me, I'm definitely there. And we coming. And we coming.
Well, listen, for all the big events you have, please don't make us strangers, okay? I want you to reach out to us. You have Gerald's number. I want you to come on and promote all the events that you have with us. We want to have you on. You are an awesome lady. You are full of the spirit. People are lucky to have you in the community. Advocate for kids and teens, Tamika McReynolds. I'm going to give you a big hug and a big kiss. I hope I don't have to go to HR for that.
No,
Through the
you
screen.
won't.
Thank
Mwah!
you. Got that. Thank you. God bless you. And thank you so
God
much
bless
for
you.
joining us and for doing what you do. Thank you. All right. We'll
Love
have
you,
you on
Ken.
again, please. Love you
Take
back
care.
to me. You bet. You too. I just awesome. I feel good just talking to her. And we next time, it's my fault. We have to show the videos of her rallies, her pep rallies. That is what will bring tears to your eyes. Amazing. It is 8:17 right now, 47 degrees. And how are America's college students spending spring break this year? We'll have the details. Meanwhile, some serious weather could be headed our way. Mostly cloudy, maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm, highs in the low to mid 70s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with a full Garden State forecast. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:18, taking your calls at 888-658-0234. Mostly cloudy, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, possibly some serious weather with some severe thunderstorms, depending on where you are. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta. He'll tell you all the details with the Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Ken, good morning. We start off with a little touch of fog right now, as well as some light rain, but the front that brings us our potential for severe weather is still back off over Pennsylvania. It arrives later on this evening. With it, some gusty winds, some heavy downpours, and yes, maybe even some small hail. Some storms right now entering the northwestern corner of the state, right up there on the Sussex County and Pennsylvania border. As those move to the north and northeast, we'll just see these light showers take over this morning. So future radar through 1019, the next 2 hours, showing some light spotty showers in northern New Jersey, working through Morris County across 287, and then of course again down the Parkway. So early morning commuters will have some light rain around this morning. Throughout the afternoon, however, the first part of the afternoon, just after lunch, we see the sun return, and that's what helps temperatures spike to 73 in Freehold, 74 back over toward Monroe and Roosevelt, and then down over there by Princeton and Trenton. Could see those showers and storms get going as soon as 5 o'clock today, but I think the best chance is happening after 6 or 7 this evening when the main line of storms pushes in. The rain helps clear the pollen. The trees are stuck at the moderate level, weeds, grasses, and molds all low. And then I think going into the afternoon with those breezes from the south, helping to fuel a little bit more of a gusty breeze and help to energize those storms today. Once the storms pass, the winds switch direction. Watch what happens here. All those arrows start to move in from the north and west, blowing in the drier, cooler air for the day tomorrow. And it also clears out the clouds. We've got a beautifully sunny day on tap for our Wednesday and Tuesday, bringing back lots of clear skies. So the UV index will be much higher by tomorrow. Today, it's stuck at low, and I think we'll see those temperatures respond with a little bit of sun that we get later on today. So here's the front back off to the west. Right now, it doesn't look like much because it lost the heating of the day, but with the sun firing up these storms again by this afternoon, yes, we'll see that line turn very vibrant as seen here on the Futurecast. As it approaches from the west, you can see all of the bright shades of red, orange, even some embedded purples. These are the storms that'll take over around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, move through New Jersey with the most severe weather happening north and west of 287 and especially the Turnpike. But as the storm approaches the coast, that cooler Atlantic breeze tends to put a cap on those thunderstorms. It really, that marine air doesn't allow for much of strong convection and really tames the storm as it approaches the coast. So plan on less of a threat of severe weather if you find yourself along the coast, because that's usually what happens this time of year with the Atlantic being so chilly. It's still stuck at 42 degrees. By the time we get to tomorrow, lots of sun around. A little bit of an easterly breeze on Wednesday brings back some of that cool marine air with some low clouds and fog at the coast, but I think clear sky inland and just generally cool all around. Thursday has another round of warm air. Look how these temperatures warm back up into the 80s again by Thursday afternoon. A very similar situation to what happened and what we enjoyed this past Saturday, with highs all around New Jersey climbing into the mid 80s. And then we cool down again by Friday. The front pushes in, brings back a drier feel, and then rain on tap for the weekend. The long-range Futurecast has those light showers around throughout the day on Saturday, and again on Sunday, and even again on Monday. It's going to be a very kind of damp period around. Maybe we clear things out by Monday afternoon, and Tuesday of next week is also looking quite dry. So several days of light rain, but it's rain we could use this weekend, considering how we're still in a drought and we're still several inches below average. So full-on clouds Saturday and Sunday statewide, temperatures in the 50s, a very April forecast as those April showers arriving right on cue. April 1st beginning tomorrow, we get one beautiful sunny day, and then it turns a little bit cooler going into the weekend with those clouds and showers.
And it won't be an April Fool's Day, if you will. Thank you so much, sir.
No, I don't think so.
I think tomorrow I'll do the weather, and then you can do the news, and never mind. We'll really screw it up now if that's the case. I'll be forecasting snow and forget it. All right, meteorologist Mike Favetta, thank you very much, sir. It is 8:23, 48 degrees. Spring break is in full swing. And Google has just released its latest top search trends report, giving us a fascinating look into how Americans are planning their getaways, from travel preferences to entertainment, even pie recipes. Google Trends reveals what's capturing the country's attention this March. Joining us now is Jocelyn, is it Runice or Runice? If we were Italian, we'd Runice. A Google search trends expert to break down the data and share insights on what's driving these searches. I'm guessing it's Runice, right?
Runice, although now I really love Runice.
See that? You could go, if you go to Italy, say, hey, my name is Runice, and then they'll love you. That's it, Jocelyn. Well, they'll love you either way. Let's start with the spring break searches in the U.S. over the past month. What are the big searches that people have been looking at?
Yep, spring break's definitely at the top of everyone's minds, probably at the top of your social feeds if you're scrolling. We've seen a lot of interest in spring break memes, spring break caption, also beach caption, which makes sense because people are looking to head to the beach. We're looking at Ocean City, Hawaii, Panama City Beach, New Jersey specifically, as you might have seen on that map, looking to maybe get away from the Northeast, get on a flight. Flights are definitely up. And of course, Google Flights can help you find your location as well as track your flight price for the best deals.
Yeah, I've gotten some amazing price drop alerts on Google Flights. When we first heard about this a couple of years ago, I guess, I said, let me just check it out. We planned a trip to Portugal and we saw the price drop. We were able to call the airlines and get the difference. It's a great deal. It's if you don't use that, there's something wrong with you, because you could really save some money with that.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I am looking myself to get out to maybe like Colorado or the West later in the month. So I have my flight tracked there. And those types of travel tips are obviously very popular in our search bar. Interestingly, specifically, people are looking at hacks associated with traveling to Tokyo, Japan, when they're searching for travel hacks. So that long flight, definitely I can see the correlation there. And yeah, getting all of those travel tips from our search bar.
One of the most fascinating cities on the planet. That should be on everybody's bucket list, to go check out Tokyo. It's an amazing place. Spotless city. Moving on to entertainment, the past 30 days show a clear divide between searches for The Bachelor and Temptation Island. What's that about?
Yes, a few things were wrapping up. As you say, The Bachelor, Temptation Island. Actually, Severance finale was searched over 2 times more than The Bachelor finale. Wow. Interesting. And there's also, as things are wrapping up, things are kicking off. As you can imagine, White Lotus was definitely in people's search bars. People looking for the actors, as well as how many episodes will there be? The answer to that is 8. And then my personal favorite, I'm a big Traitors fan. And so when the Traitors were wrapping up, people were looking again at the Traitors cast, Dylan Efron, Gabby, and interestingly at their partners. A lot of people were looking for Dylan Efron's girlfriend and Gabby's girlfriend as well. So if you're like me and developed a crush on the cast, that's the first thing that I searched for once the TV shows ended.
I love it. And in the science and technology categories, searches for space-related topics like constellations, comets, meteors, the cosmos, and black holes popular. So why are such topics capturing so much attention right now? Was it because the astronauts stuck on the International Space Station?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I would guess that you're probably right, considering that astronauts have hit an all-time high in the search volume. People were definitely following along, if you're like me, following along with the story of when they're coming home. And yeah, a lot of things are happening in the sky, as well as the lunar eclipse and the blood moon. So a lot of astronomy-related searches this past month.
I love that. The blood moon is so cool. And let's talk about sports too. The data shows a split in interest between NCAA Division I men's and women's basketball over the past 30 days. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of women power this year. Men's NCAA Division I, only 10% higher in search interest than women's, which hit an all-time high in 2024. So I love to see that. And of course, as you can imagine, people are looking at the search bar for help with building their brackets, which was probably a great idea. I made brackets myself and am probably in exactly last. But there's a lot of science, like the bracketology around it. People are searching for upsets, the probability of an upset, and things like that.
That's cool. And by the way, I know less than zero about all sports. And so I can't even figure out what a bracket is, but I usually have to talk about it and I just kind of tiptoe around it. So just so you know. And on the quirkier side, we see searches for pi, as in pi, like pi r squared, versus Roman numerals. Why? What's that about?
Pi Day, March 14th, 3.14. People
Ah,
are, yep, looking at the numbers of pi as well as the pi song. I need to learn that myself for next year. And of course, as you can imagine, the food pie becomes really popular around that day, apple pie filling. Or my favorite, as a gluten-free girly, gluten-free pie crust was a top search pie
mhm.
crust this year.
That's cool. So it's funny how they correlate the two, and the origins of each word are totally separate, but it's kind of cute that because in English it sounds the same, even though they're spelled differently, that people would associate pies that you eat with pi, the number 3.14. But that is fascinating, and that you're gluten free. And it's amazing how far gluten free foods and recipes have come. Great recipes. You could make a gluten-free pie crust that is every bit as good as one with gluten, and it's healthier too. And we have, let's see, this is the spring travel. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the searched easy pie recipe. So look at that. So what were some specific pies? It's hard for me to see that tiny from my screen. So what were, like, for instance, in New Jersey, what was the most searched pie?
Yep. In New Jersey, we're looking at that chicken. Yes. So a little
You
more
know
savory
what?
in Jersey.
Oh, heck yeah. I literally had my first chicken pot pie in 10 years last week. So, yes, maybe I was the one who tilted that because I was one of
Yep,
the
perfect
people who Googled it. There you go. Well, it is awesome having you on. I'd love to have you on again. Please don't be a stranger. Google search trends expert Jocelyn Runas. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'd love to have you on again. This was fascinating.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Have a great day. It is now 47 degrees at 8:29. When we come back, Elon Musk sells X. Well, sorta. On New Jersey Mornings, tech expert Fisher will explain. The phone lines are open too. We'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. And meteorologist Mike Favetta says we could see some serious weather headed our way. It'll be mostly cloudy, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, possibly severe, maybe even a tornado. Tiny, nothing that'll, be life threatening, but there is a 2% chance. He'll tell you about it. Highs low to mid 70s. The full Garden State forecast in a moment. You're watching On New Jersey Morning, seen daily on ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News on Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Now streamed live at Rumble and Twitch at twitch.tv/On New Jersey. We'll be right back. Morning. It is Monday, March 31st, 2025, 47 degrees at 8:32. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. Mostly cloudy, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, possibly some severe weather, in fact. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Here's meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast. Good morning to you, Mike.
So before I said 30 tornadoes recorded one year, I was mistaken. In 2021, there were 40 tornadoes in New Jersey
Wow.
confirmed. 40 tornadoes. Yeah. So the statistical average, if you break it down by month, and I'll put this graphic up later because it's one that I've used before. On average, there's 2.5 tornadoes during the month of April in New Jersey. So they do happen, and they happen during the spring season here in the Garden State. And as we enter spring, as we enter New Jersey, spring come this afternoon into tomorrow with April beginning tomorrow. Yes, there will be the chance of some tornadoes later on this evening with the storms that arrive with the cold fronts later on tonight. Best chance we'll likely just see some small hail and gusty winds with that front between 6 and 9 p.m. p.m. Later on into tomorrow, the sunshine returns in a big way. We'll have beautiful clear sky. It'll look really pretty. It'll be cooler, though, for Tuesday. And then the warmth returns for Thursday briefly throughout the afternoon. We're back in the 80s across some parts of the state before rain takes over for the end of the week. Some pretty intense fog developing right there in northern New Jersey through Morristown and back up toward the hills in western Passaic County up in Hackensack. Zero visibility right now, less than a quarter mile across most of those areas. But if you find yourself in south and central New Jersey, doing just fine with the visibility. Looking okay today with a decent start. Just a little touch of fog developing this afternoon as that easterly breeze and southerly breeze really pulls in some milder weather today. Inland will feel very warm, 75 in Hamilton, 76 in Glassboro, before those storms come in after about 5 o'clock today. So with the almanac looking pretty, well, mild this afternoon, won't hit our record high of 86 degrees set back in 1998. But regardless, with the clearing that occurs with a few breaks in the clouds by this afternoon, already see a few of those light showers there crossing the border into northern New Jersey there at the northernmost point up by Sussex County and exiting over toward Orange County in New York. We're doing just fine right now. Some light showers taking over in southern New Jersey, and those will eventually migrate over toward the coast and hit the parkway by the later part of the morning. Best chance of rain later on this evening. Then we're dry tomorrow, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday sees a slow increase in shower chances that ultimately culminates in a pretty wet weekend. Once we get there, it'll be quite, I think, cool, damp, and dreary pretty much all weekend long. But for tonight, the severe weather outlook that comes in as soon as this evening is a slight risk of severe weather. So you see the color scale here on the top right corner, meaning that we could see the best chance of seeing some hail is in the area shaded in yellow. Notice the coast, once the storm approaches the coastal communities there, it only goes to the 5% risk because of the diminishing threat thanks to that cooler marine air. And then the wind threat is also quite high across most of the state, and there's our small 2% chance of tornadoes later on this evening. As far as the rain that'll fall with tonight's weather, could see upwards of 2 inches in the northwestern corner, so a good soaking exactly where we need it because of that rainfall deficit in the northern section of the state that has kept New Jersey very dry and continuing our persistent drought right there. Air quality today looks good. Notice with the front pushing through this evening, there are the storms. As the front exits, the clouds clear. We get beautiful dry weather all day tomorrow with a lovely northwesterly breeze. High pressure takes over for Wednesday. We get a little bit of an easterly breeze for Thursday that will cool off the coast, but inland turns mild with that warm front. And then another round of cooler air comes in for Friday. And then rain is waiting in the wings for the weekend. So it does get wet again for Saturday and Sunday. After the storms today, we will clear out for tomorrow. Wednesday is cool. Thursday sees milder weather, high of 74. And then by Saturday and Sunday, turns very wet. Not exactly pleasant. Rain both days. Saturday and Sunday looking pretty gray and cool with temperatures in the 50s. That's not just in the northern section of the state. It's also down the shore, too, with that rainy forecast. So again, milder. I think after today, the mildest day will be on Thursday. Friday could see some briefly mild weather, but it's all about the front that cools us down into the weekend and brings back our steady rain with some on and off showers and drizzle Saturday and Sunday. So the forecast is not looking so great for the weekend, but I think we have a few sunny days until we get there. This is all part of the April theme, right? We get these showers that come in with some storms every once in a while, some warm days here, some cooler days there. This is quintessential New Jersey springtime weather, Ken.
Or as the people would say, this never happened here before, Mike. Never, never, ever,
right.
ever.
Right.
Hey,
statistics don't lie.
It's always 68, never rains. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. That's sort of a Long Island accent. That's not so Jersey. That was more like Syosset, wasn't it? Yeah. Sure, like you're keeping your mouth shut.
Hicksville.
I love you.
Hicksville.
All right. But yeah, it is. It was sort of Hicksville, right? All right. You can tell where I've worked. Meteorologist Mike Favetta, thank you very much, sir. We'll check back with you. Enjoy the day. And we do have a little bit of traffic to talk about. Not horrible. We want to tell you about a crash on the Garden State Parkway northbound before we go to the traffic cam. Northbound, this is north of exit 80, which is in Berkeley Township, one right lane block. And on the southbound side, south of exit 81, actually still northbound, but south of exit 81, there's another issue there, another crash. So two separate crashes about a mile apart on the Garden State Parkway, both exit 80, exit 81, both northbound, and that's in Berkeley Township area. Lanes are open in the Lakehurst Road area south. That's by Toms River Township, but we have one right lane closed and that is in Berkeley Township. We have a vehicle fire on Route 22 westbound by Liberty Avenue in Hillside Township with a right lane closed there. And if we could take a look at the inbound traffic on the GWB, really light right now. In my months doing this show, we've never seen this, but take advantage. The problems that we had earlier on the upper and lower level of the GWB have been cleared and everything's flowing. If you ever thought about going into New York by the GWB, now's your chance because it's a Monday and a lot of people are taking off for spring break or just staying home. Of course, the ongoing traffic, we don't have to show the traffic cam this time on it, but the ongoing problems on I-80 east and westbound and Wharton is going to continue for 5 to 7 more weeks with the roadway being closed. That's exit 34, Route 15 in Wharton, so just plan accordingly. It is 8:39. Elon Musk's X has a new owner, and Facebook makes more tweaks to their algorithm. To weigh in on these and other topics this morning is brand and digital strategist Fisher, who can be found on X, Threads, and Instagram with username @Fisher and through his website, fisher.media. Good morning, Fisher.
Your Long Island accent is horrible, Ken. It's horrible.
This is a guy from Suffolk County. He knows.
Your Long Island accent's horrible.
He's doing a character I used to do called Aunt Lottie. Aunt Lottie used to talk like this.
555.
Typically, she would smoke 4 packs of Pall Malls a day, and then she had yellowed fingernails. That was the fake.
She went to
Aunt
Dunks
Lottie
every
character.
day. It was delicious.
Lovely. So listen, Elon Musk has sold X, sort of.
Yes.
He sold it to another company that he founded, though. So explain.
Yes. Yes. So he owns many companies. One of them is XAI, Artificial Intelligence. And XAI has acquired X in an all-stock transaction. The combined value, it values XAI at $80 billion and X at $33 billion. That's $45 billion minus the $12 billion in debt. If you remember back to 2022, Musk acquired Twitter, which is now X, for $44 billion. So there was a big brouhaha of how much he overpaid for it and then lost all the advertising. Well, apparently it's back to, he actually made $1 billion on the deal. X now has more than 600 million active users worldwide. And Musk said on X, today we officially take the step to combine the data, models, compute, distribution, and talent into one company. CNBC is reporting that since both companies are privately held and controlled by Musk, the transaction likely amounts to a stock swap with X investors getting paid out in XAI shares. The companies have a number of mutual investors, so it'll just increase their investments in the company. So for the interface for X, it's probably going to stay the same. X's AI interface is called Grok, that is provided by XAI. And it is also in a standalone app that you can download in both the Google Play and the Apple app stores.
The amazing thing here is everybody on the left who hates him just wanted to see him fail. He laid off like 75-80% of the staff, said that they were useless, they were doing nothing. In fact, they were actively working behind the scenes to sabotage, right? Because even
100%.
the former chairman of then Twitter was saying, hey, I'm not behind all this delisting and deplatforming.
Jack Dorsey,
it was the libs. Right, Dorsey. So it was the libs along the way, all over the world, working for Twitter, who are actively working to sabotage people on the right. He fired all of them and showed that you could run a country a company lean and mean and make it more profitable. Everyone said it couldn't be done. He proved them all wrong. This is why he is the billionaire, and these people are living in their mommy's basements playing video games in their underwear at the age of 45. It's amazing the way this man focuses and the way he thinks. But, never discount him, never count him out, never discount him. Even on his worst day, when he loses 10 billion, he's still up 500 billion. That's the amazing thing about Elon Musk.
Yeah. He's
by
done
the way,
great
over the
with
weekend,
X.
Well, and because you weren't in New Jersey over the weekend. Over the weekend, there was supposed to be a rally against Elon Musk and a Tesla dealership in Paramus. I don't know if you saw the news. We reported on this earlier that they had about 30 to 40 little weasels who were paid, who showed up to protest Musk. And police had to be called to protect them because there were 400 people who showed up in support of Musk with signs and whatnot. So all these little organized, snivelly-nosed weasels who are out there to try to key the Teslas and show up to down with, you're an evil man. They were outnumbered 10-1 in Paramus, New Jersey on Saturday. So these
and
little
the videos going
weasels,
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the videos going around on X show that a lot of the protesters are literally on the clock. So noon hits and they put their signs down and they walk away, which is, showing that it may not be as organic as it's supposed to be. Sure. And then also all these idiots who are keying Teslas and the Cybertruck and all that.
Cameras.
Teslas have cameras 360 degrees around that are accessible. So all of these people are getting, not to mention being blasted on social media, but eventually being caught and getting as felonies in terms of destruction of property. So it's not too bright.
And we have one other topic we're going to hit. I just want to mention, I was on somebody else's podcast, my friend Ardina Seward's podcast on Friday night. It hasn't aired yet. We taped it. It's going to air tomorrow, and I'll give the details of how it streams and how people can see it. But the guest we had on was a gentleman named Adam Swart, and he owns a company called Rent-A-Crowd. His company's 12 years old. You know what he does? He hires the people who show up at the protests. He hires the protesters. So all the liberal media who they deny, it's debunked. There's no, that these people are paid. Bullshit. Because he is the person who hires them. And then he sends the press releases to the media to show up to come and videotape all these idiots with the pre-printed signs, and all the people at home and the lemmings in the mainstream media. They show up. It's all staged. It's called propaganda. Don't fall for it. It's fake. These people, even if they do believe what they're saying and chanting, they're showing up because you're getting paid $300. That's the only reason they're showing up. Otherwise, they would sit in their parents' basement with the holes in their underwear and socks, playing video games and never doing their laundry. Before we run out of time, and it's my fault for ranting because I'm good at that, Facebook made some more tweaks to their algorithm, but are they tweaks that people will like?
Yeah, this time it actually is. They made a tweak to the app and reintroduced the Friends tab. The Friends tab will replace a tab in the app that showed new friend requests or suggested friends. The Friends tab will instead show a scrolling feed of posts, such as photos, video stories, texts, birthday announcements, and friend requests from people you actually know. Facebook has recently, in the past couple of years, tried to get you to dig into topics or introduce you to people that you don't know or aren't familiar with, and that's just an effort for more active users and for longer time on their app. So if they could get you go down a rabbit hole about this topic or introduce you to a new connection, it increases obviously advertising dollars for Facebook and for their parent company Meta. They do this a lot on Instagram. So Facebook has heard from people that they're being distanced from the topics and the people that they want to actually talk to. So if you scroll your Facebook feed, if you still go on Facebook, that's an important thing too. I think I'm down to 7 friends. You might be one of them, Ken. But you don't see your friends, feed as much as you used to. Now you will. So they'll be making that addition back into the app and eventually make it to the web.
I love it. All right. Brand and digital strategist Fisher, found on X, Threads, and Instagram with username @Fisher, and through his website, fisher.media. Thank you for coming on this morning. That was great.
Thanks, Ken.
Information,
talk to you next
as
week.
Always. You bet. Thank you. It is 8:47. I'm going to give Mike a heads up. Once again, we're going to forego the break because I am a chiacchierone in Italian. That means a guy who likes to chat a lot. That's my fault. So I've just ruined all the timing up for the show. So straight to Mike here. We have kind of interesting weather headed our way, possibly some severe thunderstorms today. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the full Garden State forecast at 8:47. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Ken. Yeah, a few light showers around this morning, but with the sun that breaks out later today, we'll see just enough of that warmth to allow for highs to climb into the mid 70s, and that will ultimately help fuel the storms from Fort Dix, Roosevelt, back over toward Princeton by this afternoon. With the temperatures this warm, I think it'll help bring back the threat of severe weather, especially west of the Parkway. You head out toward Long Branch, Point Pleasant, and Toms River. Temperatures here much cooler thanks to that cooler breeze coming off of the water. It also tames the worst of the storms as those storms push on through. Moderate level of tree pollen, so before the storms come in, we have a pollen storm first, allowing for a rough go for allergy sufferers. And even with the wind gusts this morning, upwards of 20 miles per hour, we'll see the breezes throughout the course of the day, maybe on LBI, get up to about 30 miles per hour in advance of the storms. And then once the storms pass, notice the winds all switch direction to blow from the north and west. That'll clear us out and bring back very dry weather throughout the day tomorrow. Low UV index today of a 2, so not looking so great, especially with our ultimately cloudy skies. But even though the storms over the last few hours look like they're diminishing from that vibrant shade of red and orange here, they're actually just responding to that diurnal effect of the day and night. So with the sun returning, helping to fuel the convection, we'll get a good round of those storms later on today. After 5 o'clock or so, you'll notice the brightening of the radar picture here, the line of red coming across New Jersey after 8 or 9 this evening, and then lasting until just about midnight before they clear out and push through, bringing back drier, clearer sky for tomorrow. Again, the primary threat here is up to 1.5 inches of rain, as well as the gusty winds and potential for some small hail, and yes, maybe a tornado or two. With the easterly winds taking over for Wednesday rather, it turns cooler midweek, but then Thursday warms right back up because those winds switch direction, pulling in warmer air, allowing highs to climb into the 80s by Thursday afternoon. 84 in Trenton, 84 in Mount Holly, and 87 over in Camden. A really warm finish to the day before the cooler weather takes over for Friday and brings back a little bit of a chillier feel for the upcoming weekend. Beyond that, the long-range futurecast puts quite a bit of shower activity over New Jersey for Saturday and Sunday, with both days looking relatively gray and some on and off spotty showers. Monday looks nice and dry, and going into next week, I think we'll see another dry period ahead. So for this weekend, as far as the weather is concerned, we start off wet, we end wet, and then it's going to be pretty gray and cloudy and cool all around. That easterly breeze persists, usually meaning some light mist and drizzle, and ultimately a pretty gray scene. But hey, it's April. We're used to the rain, and I think we have quite a bit of wet weather on tap, which is what we need to get rid of the drought before the growing season begins here in New Jersey. So that would at least quell any fire threat of the fire danger that typically happens this time of year, as the air tends to be quite dry during March. But I think we're looking wet for April, so that's some good news. We'll take another check of your forecast. You can always find it online at onnj.com/weather. You click the little weather icon, you see the forecast updates for you, and yeah, a lot of weather you can find there.
Awesome sauce, and it is a good site. Thank you so much, Mike. All right, we'll see you in the morning. It is 8:50, and there's a new initiative making a difference for students right here in New Jersey. The SMART Foundation, that's SMART, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting single mothers and their children, has just launched Smart Closets in schools, starting with the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Educational Complex in Paterson. These closets provide kids with essential personal care items like toothpaste, soap, and socks in a discreet and welcoming way, so they don't have to feel embarrassed in the circumstances. And joining us now is Nicole Gazzardi, who is the founder of the SMART Foundation. I love what you're doing, Nicole, and let's start with the basics. First off, welcome to the show. And what inspired you to create the SMART Foundation, and how did the mission lead to the idea for Smart Closets?
Well, thank you for having me, Ken. And so way back, about 20 years ago, when I was a fresh single mother, I really wanted a group and a community of other single moms that were facing the same challenges and going through the same things. So fast forward 20 years ahead, and I decided to start that foundation.
And the first Smart Closet is now up and running, right? It's in Paterson. Walk us through what a student experiences when they visit a closet like this, and why it's important that it is discreet so all their classmates don't see.
Well, it could be an embarrassing situation for a child. They might not even have running water at home. But they definitely don't have access to these essential hygiene products that we pretty much think of it every day. Like we don't even think about people not having access to them. So these children will come to school, a little dirtier, I should say, and not wearing deodorant, not feeling as confident, which could, in some way affect how they learn. So we provide all of these essential hygiene needs. These kids don't have to tell anybody they're going to the closet. It's there for them to access. It could be toothpaste, it could be deodorant, soap, shampoo, conditioner, lotions. So they have free access to it, and they're welcome to take what they need.
Can people donate this stuff for the kids, or how does that work? Where does the funding come from, or is it all private donations?
No, actually, we would love the donations, and we've been getting a lot in lately, which is, beautiful, and we appreciate so much. But they can visit our website, and all the donation links are on there, whether they make a monetary donation to help us provide and buy the stuff for the closets, or they can even go onto our Amazon wish list where we have the products that we stock the closets with.
Oh, I'll be on this morning. I can I
Thank you.
absolutely love. Oh, I promise you, you'll see. If you check, you'll see. I did.
Thank you
I
so
just
much. I
I get
appreciate
emotional
that.
thinking about this because no kid should have to endure the bullying, the teasing. I mean, it's like they have it rough enough at home, and then to have to come in and deal with idiots who are bullying. I shouldn't say idiots. Kids are kids.
Kids could be
You
cruel.
know, right. And we've all encountered it. That's why I'm saying it this
Yes,
way. I've encountered it. I'm sure you've encountered it. There's always some mean person at school who's going to make that kid feel even worse. And so the idea that
absolutely.
you're doing this to make their lives a little bit easier, and it could change the trajectory of their lives if they don't have to
Absolutely.
deal with that part of it. So I love that you're doing this. God bless you and the whole group
Thank
for
you.
doing this. So what
Thank
is the
you.
website? What is the website so people can go there?
It's www.thesmartfoundation.org.
Okay. And you expanded into New York City too earlier this
We
year. And
have.
now talk about that. That's phenomenal.
So, yeah, we just expanded to New York. We figure it's close. It's, in our neck of the woods, not so far away. And the more people we can help, the more women, the more children, the bigger difference we make. So, this month, actually, or April, we will be donating a house to a single mother in need. She's got 2 children, and we're just happy to do it. She's ecstatic that we're doing it for her. And that's our first initiative. And then hopefully we can extend the smart closets into the New York school districts as well.
That is awesome. Just what a great concept. And finally,
Thank
Nicole,
you.
what's been most rewarding to see the idea come to life? What's next for the Smart Foundation? I mean, when you first saw the smart closet and saw people, young people taking advantage and their faces and their lives changing, that must have been incredible for you.
The best feeling. And just to see these children be so involved with it and they want to be involved with it. They're excited. They want to set it up. They want to decorate the closet. And even the parents are coming to see the closet. So it's been a success so far, fingers crossed. And, we'd love to see them in all of the schools possibly. So those donations definitely help, and they have to come in order to supply these closets and stock these closets. So any little bit helps. I always say, even if it's $1, every little bit makes a difference.
And do you see this spreading possibly across the country? Because I'm sure there's a need
I would love
everywhere.
it. I would love it. Absolutely.
I don't see how it doesn't spread like wildfire. It's such a great concept. And nobody, the two things I always love to say, and it's true,
Mhm.
I think, that people always will find a place in their heart and open their wallets for children and for hungry, right?
Yes.
Nobody wants, people may not want to donate to charities in general, but when it comes to knowing somebody not being able to eat or having
Yeah.
children who suffer, and pets, probably pets the third.
I was going to
But
say pets.
right? Those are the things that everybody's
Absolutely.
heart has a space for because we've all encountered at some point. Nicole
It's
Gazzardi, founder of the Smart Foundation. Go to the website, make a donation, like she said, even if it's $1, donate something and help out this wonderful organization. Thank you for
Thank you. I
joining us.
appreciate that.
I'd love to have you back on, please.
I would love to be on.
You bet. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless. It is 48 degrees now at 8:57, and meteorologist Mike Favetta says some serious weather could be headed our way, mostly cloudy, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, possibly severe with high winds too, and highs in the low to mid 70s. And that is on New Jersey Mornings for your Monday, March 31st. I love leaving on a high note like that. I feel nice and warm, so definitely go to that website. I'm going right now. I'm Ken Rosato. Remember, you could stream us at ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News On, Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, and X. And now we stream live on Rumble and Twitch. Just go to twitch.tv/OnNewJersey. We'll catch you again tomorrow morning at 7. Tell all your friends about it. We want lots more people to come on. And you could also give us a call in the morning. Don't be shy. Till tomorrow, have a wonderful day.